no matter how big or small you are, having like a footprint online and having like an identity online is necessary. So it's something that like spans across the spectrum. I mean, if you're big or small, you need to have some kind of presence, and digital really is the way to go because everyone's on it. It's easy to monetize. It's easy, to create like a business account on Instagram. It's free, and that's really just the way that people can sell.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Loop Me In. This is the podcast for job seekers, young millennials in the workforce, for the go-getters, and the visionaries. We are available on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts, YouTube, Facebook, and Podbean. In Loop Me In, we will discuss the new opportunities in the job market, trends and innovations in different industries, and we will loop in thought leaders in different industries to pick their brains and listen to their inspiring success stories. By the way, this is Jules Rodriguez, and I am co-founder of Plastic Tides. Our nonprofit organization is on a mission to clean the rivers and seas, not just here in the Philippines, but also in the entire world. So, for this episode here in Loop Me In, I would like our audience to imagine this scenario. So here you are, you just graduated from college, you fixed your Facebook profile by uploading your graduation picture. You also created a LinkedIn profile to create a more professional persona. All of your accomplishments, orgs that you joined, extracurricular activities are broadcasted in your social media accounts to attract potential employers. At the same time, this gives your friends an impression that you're ready to take more responsibilities and rise up in your preferred industry. And then someone tags you on Facebook, a video of you drunk, wasted in a party in Poblacion. It gets retweeted and reshared to some of the IG stories of your friends. And in just one click, the professional curtain was brought down to see the real you on stage in front of your followers, subscribers, and likers, and even your titas who follow you on Facebook. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this episode here in Loop Me In, we'll find out if your social media footprint can really affect your journey in landing your dream job. We'll also discuss some tips to build your social media brand to attract potential employers in different companies. So, right now, everyone, we have in our pod the content manager and one of the partners of Jigsaw, a digital marketing company that serves various companies in different industries. Let's give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for our good friend, Cang. Hi, Raf. So happy to be here, and I'm so happy to have you on the show. How are you?
Thanks, Jules. Thanks for having me. I'm excited. It's actually my first podcast to actually be part of. I listen to podcasts myself, but I've never been part of one. So also psyched to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm super happy as well because the podcast world now is a quickly growing one as well, and I feel like it's nice to have human conversations between two people just so that they can share information for both the benefit. So I want to start with a few questions, Raf. Is that okay?
Sure, go ahead. I'm
All right.
an open book tonight.
Nice. So, I wanted to find out what's a little bit about your background. What were you doing before Jigsaw? A little bit about your educational background, lang, and maybe like something about how you were growing up as a person, or maybe a little bit about your expertises.
Okay, so so I've always liked like art. Like I used to draw as a kid. Like I never really like honed my skills, but I enjoyed drawing. I never got good at it, but like I enjoyed visuals and like artwork before, like with comic books and my brother also super used to love Matisse and Van Gogh. So like I appreciate art. I finished in an export management course in CSB, but then I really enjoyed like the marketing aspect of it. So my first job out of college was actually marketing for a famous Spanish restaurant. So I used to help them out with I used to help them out with their marketing, and pretty much the marketing department was just me. And this is my first job, so like I, just like had to like use whatever um, I had at my disposal to help them out with their marketing. But eventually, like I wanted to join like a creative think tank, and I wasn't like sure about joining like a really big agency. I ended up joining like an agency of of one of my distant titas from my dad's side, and it is a trad agency. So we dabbled in TV, radio, print. I was there for like seven
Question
years.
lang. Would you
Yeah,
say you were there at that point where it was transitioning from what analog was to what is now really digital? Because
yeah.
people were doing
So
commercials before for
yeah,
TV, different format. You're kind of like at the start of that, right? I mean,
yeah.
pushing
So
all
when
the
I
way
was
into the internet.
yeah, so when I was in a trad agency, I remember downloading Instagram and treating it like a hipstamatic app where, like you put like heavy filters and, like really saturate it. And I didn't really like see the potential of Instagram back then because it wasn't yet owned by Facebook. It was like standalone, but like it was like, it was like cross like platform, and uh, it was something that you really couldn't market yourself on yet. But then when I was in in my old company Manprom, uh, they uh, they at the time were handling Rustans, and we would like present to like the matriarch of Rustans, and we actually had to like sit on a slide for 30 minutes explaining what that hashtag was, because like to them it was complete Greek, and they didn't know how it could affect like their brand. And they just got like their Instagram page, and they had like 950 followers back then. So like it was really just something that we had to like.
Wow.
So I do feel that I was like in that cusp of like transitioning from a lot of media budgets being purely um, by media, you know, to when they actually put in a lot of online and digital money that they can play with boosting with SEO, because there wasn't anything back in like 2012 to 2015 to
The budgeting was
2015.
different. It really was. I mean, I remember that people
Yeah,
were spending how much for a TV commercial? Like 3 million, 4 million for a TV commercial. And then now they're willing to cut it down to
yeah.
200,000 pesos, 250,000 pesos. But I guess it also gives rise to a lot more brands that need identity. So of course, do
Like
you mind if I ask? Like, I know that no, I mean no specific clients. If that's okay. But like, what are the types of content now that you are kind of creating for your clients as well? That's kind of like patok, or people are kind of really interested now in purchasing these types of media.
yeah. Well, if you want, I actually have some case studies here that I prepared that I can show you. We handle pretty much a bunch of retail brands such as Rostan's. We used to do work for Havaianas. We help out with the beauty
Mhm.
stores, like with a lot of brands from store specialists. So we help them out with their website, with their strategies. Some of the brands that we work with just only have digital budget, so they don't really have the budget to
Yeah.
play with.
Wow.
For like trad, because I mean like it also depends on the scope of your offering or your services.
Sorry, quick question lang. So, for example, they go to you and they say, Hello, Jigsaw. We need to start a campaign for this summer of 2021. You come up and you tell them, oh, ito, IG stories, 1 month before, nakaschedule na IG posts, Facebook posts, and you guys are pretty much in charge of all of that, full service.
Well, yeah, I mean, like again, it depends on the scope because I mean, the requirements always change, per client. But yeah, I mean, we like pretty much do omni-channel branding for our clients, depending on the scope. But yeah, like we like pretty much like we have four pillars. We create, communicate, consult, and collaborate with our brands, which like encompasses different services. From strategy to content, like content creation, online articles, to AdWords and Google Display Networks, creation of websites, online PR, to e-commerce platforms we can even create for you, and identity that like you have to capture online. Like it really depends.
Yeah, it's
But
almost like a survival kit, like a digital survival kit. If you don't have any of
yeah,
these, it's so much harder to really traverse this digital sphere and really get proper reach.
and I mean, like of course it's a lot of things to consider, but then every band is different, and since we still are a boutique agency, we try to like have a personalized service. So I mean, we get to know you, we like meet with you, talk to you like over Zoom if need be. But I mean, like it's really like an authentic connection because it's me and my team. We love to brainstorm, and we feel like our ideas are good. So I mean, no matter what you get from like our meetings, we always have like something that you can take away from it.
I know you're an expert in these kinds of things in being able to help brands kind of build up on what their overall theme is. So let's move into you now working with Jigsaw. I know that digital strategy is really important for everyone. And like what we said in the intro, how does it affect people now, especially when we're, I guess, almost uh, unfiltered, like what you said with Instagram. Like your life is unfiltered now. It's all online. You're trying to apply for a job post COVID. Obviously, they're gonna start looking into your social media. How's how's that gonna affect an average person's life now looking for a job?
Well, yeah. Uh, in terms of like social media, like in the Philippines, I mean, so Jigsaw, I mean, like we're past the startup phase. I mean, we're like a startup size company, but then like in terms of like the companies that we handle, we're like bigger in terms of our scope. But like in terms of like the Philippines, unless you like put your Instagram handle on your resume, um, or you're talking to like a multinational company, they really won't like jump on your social media and see if you've posted anything that might be incriminating. It's not really something that like people look for, but I mean, like if you put it there, like it'll seem like you're more connected, especially like if you're applying to an online business or like a company that does digital strategies like what we do. I mean, a lot of the people that we get resumes from, they put their Instagram handles, like their LinkedIn, their Instagram, because I guess like it's also like a way to be authentic and just like show whoever they want to work for, that they have like a curated feed, that they know how to like like match adjacent
That there's
colors
thought
with
put
other
into it.
posts. Yeah, and I mean a lot of the time, yeah, like you can tell that someone can help out with your brands if they themselves have a nice feed.
Yeah,
Because
that's true. I mean, it kind of shows also their expertise or their own experience as well with the app, right?
yeah, exactly. And
Okay.
what we do is we have a lot of, yeah, like we handle social platform, a lot of our brands, and they have like multiple. So we've got a like
So I do want to push more into that as well, especially with your team. Of course, you're going to have a lot of client facing meetings, and the hiring system for this doesn't exactly mean that anyone can just face client. So yun nga, parang what are the things that you consider when you hire candidates for your team, for the Jigsaw team? It seems to me that they have to be multimedia skilled pretty much.
Yeah, of course they have to be digital natives, meaning like they grew up with screens. They know how to like get what they need just by searching for it. I mean, a lot of people that we hire, uh, yeah, they're multi-talented because like we're about 12 in the company that go to the office and collaborate on a daily basis. So I mean, like sometimes the job positions kind of blend into each other. So I mean, like if we are in a shoot, then you can kind of do client facing and do PR with the photographer, with the model, and kind of help out all around. But I mean, yeah, we have one creative team and then two content managers and like everyone knows how to use a camera. Everyone knows how to like write captions. Everyone knows how to like like read analytics online and do some kind of production or event coverage. But
Amazing, because that's really like what you need now talaga. It's like you have almost Navy SEALs type of approach to your team where everyone has got different skills, but they also know a little bit about each other's jobs. Para,
yeah,
when they talk about it,
yeah.
magigets mo rin yung kung at what point they are na in the production process. That's cool, man. I feel like it's really a look into how people now make this content and try to make it human as well. So yun nga, parang you need to apply a lot of your own humanity into the projects. You need to apply your own ideas. I mean, it's not like you draw only from external sources, but you also have to look within. So I want to ask you, um, how do you stay creative and how do you start getting these ideas churning, knowing that it's really about your own personal experiences that drive this human aspect of content. That's what they say, right? It has to be a human type of content for it to be relatable to human beings. So where's the threshold there, Raf?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, so like you asked how I stay creative. I mean, like I like to socialize. I talk to a lot of the people that I work with on a daily basis. We collaborate a lot. I ask a lot of my friends, even you, like who's been a good friend for a long time. For like like insights on things I'm working on. Um, I sometimes like show you the pitches that I prepare for some of my clients. Yeah, so what I do is like I pretty much create pitches. I create like really good presentations, and I know that they're really good because we've gotten like a lot of clients because of like how complete our thought process is. But most importantly, like yeah, like I try to tell a story. So like of course there's like a recipe for like a good and effective presentation, but you have to sell it in a way that is how do I say, like yeah, like it appeals to the client. It appeals to like the situation at hand, depending on what their objectives are. So like I have like like some like intro with my slides that try to make it very relatable to the times, and have like an insight that you can really base the whole campaign out of. So parang the story leads to like like a main challenge, which leads to like an understanding of like the consumer, their frustrations, and it's pretty much like telling a story. And I feel like I bring a lot of who I am in that, because like I've like I'm not I mean like I'm not like I'm not like trying to say that I've like been through so much, but I feel like I can internalize what I've been through and kind of like tell the story of the brand and articulate my idea better, because like I like how to like I know how to sell something well, because I've yeah, like I'm a consumer myself. Like I know how to also like
Yeah.
create that demand with a story.
So
So yeah.
I mean, if it comes down to the pitch, what are the qualities that you are going to be looking for for someone to hire into the Jigsaw team comes down to the pitch. What are the, say, top three traits that you know when they're sitting in front of you or talking to you and applying for a job that you know that you'll be able to at least fit these three categories, and that would mean they're eligible to be hired.
Well, I mean, there's a lot that can be said, but I think if you have to drill it down to the top three, I feel like you have to be authentic because you can tell if something is forced or if you're nervous. But if you're yourself, even if you're nervous, you can tell that that there's potential because like of your work, and be confident of who you are, because I feel like employers can sense, like if you are uncomfortable and you're not really being yourself, and like you're so nervous that you can't even focus on saying the right things. So I feel like you should, like be content with who you are, and just like say it how it is. That's one.
Nice.
So be authentic.
That's fair.
Two
Yeah,
is,
that's good.
yeah, yeah, like I feel like with a lot of the pitches that sorry, with a lot of the interviews that we do, we always have the interviewee prepare like homework before the interview. So
Like what kind of
we
homework?
we talk to them, and then we give them like a problem, or like something that they can solve within one of our brands. So let's say like if Rustans is gonna have a Father's Day sale coming up, how would you package a concept for them? Like featuring these items, and come out with like an idea that can thread Father's Day in a very heartwarming kind of way. Yeah, so like you can tell a lot about them because I mean, you give them homework, you can see the thought process. Like you can see like if they rush through it, you can see if it's simple but like effective. Because I mean, some of the most simple things like are the most effective. So you can see the effort that went into how they craft their idea, and like help you out with this special case study. So yeah, like so the second, like I think is like having like a cohesive like a cohesive idea that will impress us.
Gets
Because
like a
we
theme, an overall theme at least, like
yeah,
an
yeah.
enveloping idea. Okay, nice.
And I guess
Uh,
with like with resumes that can translate into like like an identity, like okay, like he's like an out of the box artist, or she's like someone who's very well read, but like introverted. So it's kind of like like you kind of like profiling them. So like yeah, like a solid profile, because then you stand out, apparently like you kind of fit this profile that that makes you stand out.
okay,
And
question
then I think
naman. Sorry, just to add, talking about profile, how important is this potential hirees profile history when you're checking them out to hire? Like, are you really gonna look at their social media right now in this day and age as you, as a boss? Is that something that you would do, and does it matter what your potential hirees' social media history is or was?
so. I would. I mean, like depending on the position. Like if it's gonna be someone who's like a high position, like I would consider looking at the social media more. Um, but I guess like it's a case to case basis. Like if someone really like struck me, then you would like I would be interested in kind of stalking them and seeing how tahe their Instagram is
Yeah,
at
you're
least.
looking at quality. I mean, if there's
Or
a
their
part of
LinkedIn
them
also.
that said something bad before or did something crazy before, like you wouldn't hold it against them, naman, diba? I mean, or would you say embarrassing videos online, being drunk somewhere, or getting arrested, or ridiculing, making fun of a police officer, or something like that? I mean, something that's intense. Would that be a
Well, if it
um,
super went viral, I mean, I would remember the person. But yeah, I mean, like if it does surface during the interview process, that'd be a big factor
fair,
in
fair,
my
fair enough?
decision.
That's
Yeah.
true. Okay. On the other side of the spectrum, naman, um, how do you feel if they kunyari went viral before and then parang if there's that sort of reputation already attached to your potential hiree, um, parang is there a way to be able to also work with it? Is there a way to how do you say learn from it as well? Yun nga, I guess it's case to case, correct? Sorry, I'm just answering my own question. So on the opposite side of the spectrum nga naman, what if an applicant does not have any social media? What if minimal, not really a lot of effect? I guess bad fit naman in your company. I mean, off the top of my head, would it be someone that you would hire? Someone who doesn't have social media, someone
Well, yeah,
who
naman. I mean,
doesn't understand.
so one of our artists doesn't really post so much, but she's super talented. I mean, so I don't think like social media is an indication of talent. I guess like it's really just like a personal way, for people to like, like show their followers about their life or their inspirations, their passions. I mean, you can pretty much post anything online. So I mean, like some people have like an issue, with like security or having like a public page. So we don't really judge naman. I mean, for us, we want to hire someone who can help the company grow and like and keep the quality of work that our clients have gotten used to in the past years.
I think that's what's nice
So
nga, na non-traditional kayo. Kasi there are some companies that put that into consideration as well, especially if they're part of a bigger, what do you call it, bigger international corporation. Of course, they'll start really having to have their people represent them. But I guess if you're in a much more fast-paced, younger company, you also have the ability to now run it like a ship, like a group of human beings instead of a corporate machine, correct?
yeah, naman. And for us, at the end of the day, like if you work for us, I mean, it's pretty much about like the quality of work and your output. It's not really like how many times you post a week,
Yeah, gets.
diba?
So, quick question: are you on LinkedIn? You
Yes.
are. Okay. Quick question: how do you see LinkedIn now? Do you see the value in it? What are your thoughts about something like LinkedIn? And any stories?
No, yeah, no. So I feel that LinkedIn is integral in today's job market because it's it's pretty much like a landing page of you. It's like your online resume. It's how you can connect to professionals. It's like the professional Facebook, and
Gets
um,
super gets.
I feel like I feel like brands and people should be on it because it's a really good way, to kind of reach out to brands, to headhunters, to like take that step up in your career if need be, or just to update your professional record so that people are aware, and it's also like a good way to find you, and it's also like an easy way to also find people,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of professionals nowadays have LinkedIn. So I feel like it's something that should be used more. A lot of like a lot of Westerners use it. I know that in the Philippines, there isn't more than 40% penetration. So like we could use more people on LinkedIn. So we have like a deeper
Sorry, 40%
network.
lang. I mean, 40%.
Less than
Okay.
40% of
Less than
Filipinos has have
40%. Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure
I think
because
I
there's
think
also other opportunities such as, say, a much more localized version of job hunts, right? I mean, what are
yeah,
the
yeah.
websites that we know that are much more hyper localized? Job Street, that's also one.
You have Job Street, you have Caliber also.
Even
Those are the
mga
kind of thing.
newspapers as well, correct? They even have their own listings for jobs. So one thing I like about LinkedIn, just to add to what you said, is that it really does open you up to an international market. yun nga, parang people now are looking for jobs online. But one mindset that people tend to forget is that they're looking for jobs online in the Philippines, not realizing that because you're now online, you can really start looking for jobs in all the different communities. But right now, because your own social circle is limited to the Philippines, parang hanggang dun lang yung view mo. So, how do you imagine now being
Yeah,
able
yeah,
to kind of like expand outside of the Philippines? I know you're serving a lot of local clients, but also this allows you now, being digitally savvy, to get clients from abroad. Like, for example, Uber started from a tweet by Travis Kalanick, which was responded to by a guy named Ryan Graves. And this became this huge thing that pretty much is reporting the world. And that started from a small, the huge thing that started doing transport around the world. So Twitter started Uber from a small message or a tweet. That's the beauty of being able to connect to an international market now. So, how do you imagine Jigsaw moving into this world where you're now talking to people? You have done international work, I know that. So, tell us more about that.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, like with like even just like being online. I mean, like so other than just having like a LinkedIn, if you have a really good website with like hefty SEO, which we do have, you're gonna get like clients from abroad looking for partners in the Philippines because sometimes it's like a strategic um, goal for them to fulfill to be like in Southeast Asia or like in specific countries. So we have gotten some calls, even like cold calls, just from companies abroad, from Malaysia, from Indonesia, wanting to partner with us. Yeah, so a lot of companies, like even the Singapore Tourism Board asked for our ideas for a campaign almost 2 years ago. So yeah, we've we've gotten calls because of our Facebook presence, our website SEO, and just because we also have like a network of clientele in the Philippines that also have a global reach.
Would you say that the Philippines is good in being able to create content that's American oriented, considering the language ability? I mean, kaya nga nag-outsource yung US sa atin, di ba? Kasi we speak English pretty well. So, what do you think would be the opportunities for, I guess, a Filipino person who's trying to hustle, trying to make some money online, trying to do some digital work? What would be an advantage for someone like that trying to serve clients online?
The one thing for sure is that Filipinos are really talented, and I've been to other countries, and I always judge like the posters, billboards, like the ads, and I feel like the Philippines does have really good talent, and our creatives are world class. So like I feel like instead of going abroad, I mean you can serve the Philippines and like see if you find a company that that has the same vision as you, and that has people that can work on the same stage as you. So I feel like if freelancers want to work, it'd be good if they look to the Philippines first, because I mean look at the economy, like everything turned upside down in the past couple of months. So I feel like we should love local, and small companies really, like should be prioritized over like focusing on foreign companies, because I'm pretty sure the economy needs a bailout after this.
So I imagine nga naman that people are much more intent on making money online and to serve clients outside of the country. What would you say are kind of like the things that you did learn about being Raf Kang, managing a company, serving clients from other countries? I mean, what are your learnings from this? Because this is something that is such an untapped world for a lot of Pinoys as well. I know that there are already small companies such as Fiverr where you can do small jobs for $5. That's a good start, I know. But what are the lessons that you did learn from running campaigns na? This is the big leagues. Hindi ito yung parang small jobs, edit, ganun. Ito big leagues. Um, what did you learn?
I learned that, like, yeah, like, of course, in every company there's always a creative team, but I know that, to like think about, the consistency of the voice and keeping the branding intact on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes they need an agency like us, because sometimes, like, the in-house team can't keep up with online, so they outsource even just the community management, because like it's a lot to take on, and you're gonna have like at least one dedicated person, to keep on answering inquiries and come out with ways to, kind of like sell the brand and create clicks and call to action to lead people back. So that's really something. So I feel like no matter how big or small you are, having like a footprint online and having like an identity online is necessary. So it's something that like spans across the spectrum. I mean, if you're big or small, you need to have some kind of presence, and digital really is the way to go because everyone's on it. It's easy to monetize. It's easy, to create like a business account on Instagram. It's free, and that's really just the way that people can sell. So I feel like um, with like this whole new normal and like with this post-COVID scenario, I feel like brands will be able to will be able to thrive if they can effectively put their services or their offerings on the World Wide Web, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, if you're able to translate everything that you're offering online into sales, then that means you have the whole circle done. Like you've already created the stream of income, and you
Yeah,
can
but I
have
mean, like, of
multiple.
course, like it's a lot like it's a lot simpler said than done, because I mean you're gonna have to figure out, like, who you're talking to, how to like reach them, find where they are in the in the customer buying journey, find like that insight that can, help you create that like look, that name, that like identity. So that's where we, come in and like, help brands no matter where they are in their brand life cycle.
Raf, I'm learning so much because I feel like this is something that I've heard about. I understand a little bit about it, but seeing you work just makes me realize that there is really a whole different level nga naman of client servicing, especially in the creative field, especially when you're on the forefront of creating digital stories. So imagine me, kunyari,
Yeah.
post-COVID time. I'm a young, eager Filipino, Philippine ex, um, wanting to make money, wanting to hustle. What can you tell me right now that will kind of guide me through this journey that I'm about to start? What can you tell me that will be handy later on? I think that's a good takeaway for a lot of people right now. What type of advice can you
Well, I
share
think
with people who want to hustle?
Um, I suggest just stay ahead of the curve, meaning, like, know your shit, be good at like, something, or know how to sell yourself well. Because at the end of the day, yeah, like it's like it's what value you can bring to the table. When people look um for employees, when companies look for freelancers, it's what you can bring and how you sell yourself. So if you stay ahead of the curve, meaning be good at what you do, or like know something that will impress the client, or be prepared, to over deliver if necessary.
I like that. I like that. I think over delivering is it's a great way to put it as well.
Under promise and over deliver.
Yeah, under promise, over deliver. That's a beautiful quotable quote from you, Raf. Raf, I'm so happy to have you here on the show. I'm really excited to be able to help more people actually learn how to hustle, how to make money, especially during this post-COVID time. It's been such a pleasure, Raf. How can we find you online, and how can we get more? Or can you tell us more about what you have in store?
Yeah, so if you can check out our website, check out jigsaw.com.ph. So we have a brand new website. You can see what we've done for our clients. You can see like the team. You can see how, like how we uh, how we work. You can see like what they believe in and our different services. So you can follow me there. Um, Also follow me on Instagram. I'm just gonna like drop this.
Do it, do it.
So Rafael Cang on IG at Rafael Cang. That's with an F, RAFAEL CANG. Do it.
I really like your feed, Raf. It's well done.
Yeah,
It's,
but I
it's
don't post. That's the thing. Like, I, I have so many photos, and I like overthink posting. So I haven't posted since like freaking I don't know, like August of last year or September of last year. But like I have so many photos, and like it's not naman hard to like keep up the feed. I'm just really tamad, and I'm posting for like six other brands. So like I'm prioritizing that, and I'm so drained of my creative juices. Like I can't even post on my own freaking page. But
Yeah, fair. I mean, you are handling a variety of accounts as well. I mean, on your
yeah,
Instagram, I saw that you do have so many other accounts linked to your
yeah.
personal account. So it does take
It's
a lot of
confusing
time.
sometimes, but that's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks so much, Raf. I can't wait to see you again. And thank you so much for this interview. I super appreciate it.
All right, brother. Nice talking to you, man.
All
Thanks
right,
for
take care, Raf. Thanks so much. So that ends our episode for today. Please listen or download our podcast on Spotify, Apple, or Google Podcasts. You can also catch us on Facebook and YouTube. Please stalk and follow us on our official social media accounts. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. This has been Jules Rodriguez, and this is Loop Me In.